Hello, Professor Jeremy Grace. I will be speaking on my personal experience on dropping out of high school and not continuing my education. It was very depressing. It was a tough situation to be in. Like many teens that struggle for any reason, the easiest thing to do at the time is to drop out, give up, and focus on what at the time we think the problem is. I didn't think about how dropping out would affect my future. I needed to work, and I made a decision that affected me in the long run. The experience of being a high school dropout, it was not just embarrassing, it drove me into depression at 17 years old. I remember it today as if it was yesterday, and I am so happy I was surrounded by positive people because I've known teens that fall into bad influences, and fortunately, I was not one of them. It did not take long for me to realize that I did not want to work for minimum wage for the rest of my life just because I didn't finish school. I was aware of how competitive the job market was, how competitive it became, and not having education, a degree, a diploma, that didn't help at all. Eventually, I got tired of all my friends going to college and I was still stuck in the same situation. It took one person, a very special person. My mother-in-law sat me down and she talked to me about the importance of school and that I had to go back. Not for her, not for anybody else, but for myself. I cried and I cried because I knew that she was right. But I was afraid. I was scared like anybody else. I was afraid that I was going to fail, and I was afraid that I would fall deeper into depression. I then decided that the worst thing I could do is not try. The worst thing I could do is give up. I had to stop being scared and think about my future. I then took a credit by exam course and I passed it. Within weeks I had my diploma. I should have enrolled in college, but I procrastinated. One day when I was driving home after the same routine, the same dead-end job, while I was stuck in traffic, I don't know what it was. I was tired of the situation, but I then stepped back and analyzed everything. And I asked myself what I was doing, if this is what I wanted for my life. What was I doing wrong? I was furious with myself. I was the only one who I can blame. I was holding back and it was time to move forward. The following Monday I went to enroll in college. I was a little hesitant because of my schedule and I was afraid I wouldn't have time, but it was a risk I had to take. Winners are not those who fail, but those who never quit. Source unknown. Here I am now. I have a great job. This job will turn into a career. Every day I learn more and more about technology and accounting. I have managed to be a full-time employee and a full-time student. If somebody would have told me 3 years ago that I would one day be receiving my degree and working for a big company, I would have sighed and I would have said, yeah, right, I wish. I realize now how much time I wasted and that I could do anything I set my mind to. I let depression get the best of me. It made me want to give up. Time made me realize that there is a solution for everything and it is never too late to pursue your goals. This is from a source unknown. There's only one thing that can guarantee our failure, and that is if we quit. I know that students drop out probably have worse problems than me, but the depression I fell into made me see the best in people, and I've become a great motivator. I now set my goals higher, yet I never forget the few sad years I went through because those few sad years made me a stronger person. I now use my time wisely, and I do talk to my daughter about my experiences because that is what made me how I am today. And that is my experience on dropping out as a teenager from high school. I hope this concludes my presentation. Any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.